my plea and my hope is that we all understand the gravity of what is surrounding us on a 24-hour, minute-by-minute basis. The more people who are practicing what we're preaching, the faster we will get through this as a state, as a city, as a nation.
Governor Eric Holcomb pleading with Hoosiers to take the coronavirus pandemic seriously. The urgent message comes as the state health department has reported its third death from the virus.
That patient from right here in Marion County, over 60 years old. The health department also reported 23 new positive cases of the coronavirus. The total now stands at 79 statewide. State leaders say as more tests are done, you can expect that number to continue to rise.
And a local hospital has found a new way to test for the novel coronavirus.
IU Health announced today that it now has the capability to test for the virus. News 8's Jenny Drasler has been following this story. And Jenny, how are they doing?
Well, Phil and Nina, Indiana University Health now has the capability to test for the virus that actually causes COVID-19 using their pathology laboratory. And guys, it's a big step forward in getting people tested quicker and ultimately controlling the spread of coronavirus.
Just in the last 3 days to begin testing patients for COVID-19. They've literally worked around the clock.
That tireless work has finally paid off as IU Health's pathology lab can now test for SARS-CoV-2. That's the virus that causes COVID-19.
So I think one of the most natural instincts is, the public will hear that testing is available, and is that the green light to rush out and be tested? And the answer today is no.
Instead, they're asking you to wait just a little bit longer. Currently, the number of people who can be tested is limited, with priority given to high-risk, seriously ill patients and healthcare workers who may have been exposed to the virus.
Our goal is to test as many people as we can every day of the week. And today we can test about 400 people. Next week it'll be about 1,000 people per day. The week after that we'll be able to do about 2,500 tests per day.
IU Health anticipates offering more testing over the next 2 weeks. Officials with IU Health say they plan to use the test as a COVID-19 virus confirmation, not as a virus screening tool. Healthy patients with mild symptoms are still encouraged to self-quarantine for up to 14 days.
Over time, as our testing capacities grow, of course, we'll have more tests available for other people to be tested. And that's going to happen in the next weeks and months.
IU Health has also created an online resource center with information from expert physicians and steps that you can take to prevent the spread of this virus. We have all of that information on our website right now at wishtv.com. Jenny Drasler, Wish TV News 8.
Jenny, thank you. The governor made a major announcement pushing the state's primary vote from May 5th to June 2nd.
Democrat and Republican Party leaders agree this is the right move to make to keep everyone safe and healthy this time of year. And with everything that's going on, lawmakers have asked Indiana's Election Commission to make changes to allow anyone to vote without having to show up in person. Voters can still show up at the polls if you want to. The governor said postponing the primary is to help protect you from the coronavirus.
My view on that fast approaching primary election is it needed to be pushed back in order to, again, ensure the safety of our county employees, our poll workers, and the voters themselves.
Secretary of State Connie Lawson says if everyone would vote by mail, she expects the results would be delayed. If you do head to the polls, there will be a plan in place to make sure that all voting equipment is sanitized.
Governor Holcomb addressed the problem of people hoarding items, including food and toilet paper. His response was to stop and help your neighbors.
Don't become a hoarder. Don't become your own reality TV show. This is not the time. When I say Indiana strong, I'm talking about we're all in this thing together. And so don't take away from someone else. Buy responsibly, and we'll take every step necessary to make sure that you can go back to the grocery. This is an essential function.
The governor says the state is taking measures to make sure grocery store shelves are stocked.
Well, local health care professionals on the front lines say they are facing a supply shortage on items like gloves, masks, and testing kits. St. Vincent says they're now working with local and national teams to manage supply chain resources. Eskenazi Health says their supply count varies and is using alternatives.
We're being really intentional about how many people are going into that patient's room, What are we doing with the equipment that we have? What can we reuse? What is safe to reuse? What's safe to clean? And so we're being really, really good stewards.
The Indiana State Department of Health Commissioner says they are now closely monitoring the supply count at hospitals, and they will step in to help if things get worse.
An Indiana University student has tested positive for the coronavirus. The university says the Monroe County Health Department received notification of the student's positive test. The student has been living in isolation off Bloomington's campus since March 13th and is showing mild symptoms. The Monroe County Health Department is working to contact other people who may have come in contact with the student.
Unemployment filings have skyrocketed as more workers are laid off amid the coronavirus concerns.
Officials are sharing new resources to help streamline the process. News 8's Julia Dang is live at the State House. And Julia, the labor agency is fielding thousands of calls.
Yeah, Nina, their benefits call center is overwhelmed. They are requiring all unemployment claims to be filed online right now, but laid-off Hoosiers are running into issues, including lost passwords, delayed responses, and no access to internet. A spike in web traffic as phone lines remain jammed at Indiana's unemployment benefits call center. The latest data from the state's Department of Workforce Development shows 22,583 Hoosiers filed for unemployment benefits last week. Compare that to about 3,000 filings during a typical week in March 2019.
I haven't slept in a while.
Governor Eric Holcomb vowing to work around the clock to help hardworking Hoosiers during an unprecedented time. He announced an executive order ensuring benefits will be paid to people who filed their initial claims late. But laid-off convention center worker Cheryl Bush worries she won't be able to file at all.
I live paycheck to paycheck.
Bush says she spent days trying to reach the benefits call center.
You don't know if you're on hold or you were disconnected. You don't know. There's no music, there's no beeps, there's nothing.
She doesn't have a computer with internet access at home and says she needed help resetting the account she created 12 years ago.
I have worked a lot of years. And basically right now I feel for nothing.
Her login issues so common. State labor officials posted a series of YouTube videos Friday showing people how to change passwords and file claims.
Enter your social security number, email address, and date of birth.
This is not typical.
Holcomb says more help is on the way soon for out-of-work Hoosiers like Bush. The clock is ticking.
No utilities, no rent, everything.
And nationwide unemployment claims jumped last week to their highest level in 2.5 years. Here in Indiana, labor officials are planning to seek federal authorization to extend unemployment benefits to people who typically would not be eligible, including workers who just started a new job. Live downtown, Julia Dang, Wish TV, News 8.
Julia, thank you. A group of 7 people with ties to Indiana University are now stuck in Peru.
They were caught by the rapidly changing travel restrictions and may not be able to come home until April 1st. The group planned the trip for more than a year. They called the State Department before leaving and were told there were no travel restrictions. 2 days later, they found out they were going to be there longer than expected.
Went back and started trying to book flights to get out of here because we didn't know if it was going to be 8 a.m., midnight at that point. Like, we really didn't have very much information. But unfortunately, even with, like in an hour of knowing, all of those flights had already been booked.
Now, they are safe, but do not have a way home. Representative Tom Saunders says that he's hoping to get the group back by the middle of next week. We will keep you posted. A new partnership to feed those in need during the coronavirus outbreak. One America has teamed up with Second Helpings and Psalms to provide meals to the community. Second Helpings has been providing meals to not-for-profit groups for 22 years. Now with the partnership, Second Helpings is opening its first satellite kitchen.
So I would just like to personally thank Ed Psalm and One America for engaging with us and recognizing that the work of Second Helpings is part of the critical infrastructure of our community. Providing people with food is an essential service now more than ever.
We have a great crew of people that are ready to step in and help make food wholesome food and deliver it around under Second Helping's guidance.
Ed Som says they were able to deliver 1,100 meals today. He says they can ramp that up to 10,000 meals a day by next week.
IPS is partnering with Gleaners Food Bank to provide families with food. IPS buses picked up 17-pound meal packages today. They delivered boxes of non-perishable food to 25 locations throughout the city. Superintendent Alicia Johnson says this is a way for IPS to give back to the community to make sure families get what they need. Buses will deliver to another set of locations on Monday. We have a list of those locations up on wishtv.com right now. Johnson says she's hoping the event happens again with school out until May.